All right, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something from 1979 and George C. Scott. Hardcore. Let's check it out.
The sacred past unfolds.
All right, it's Christmas time in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the Van Doren residence.
Timmy is only 6 months old. Stand still.
George C. Scott on the left.
Vanderlord!
Now, his daughter Kristen is going on some church retreat in California.
What does it do?
That's her friend.
Each time he comes in closer and closer and closer till you say chicken, and he stops.
He gets a disturbing phone call a few days later.
California. Kristen's disappeared. What happened?
So Kristen has disappeared.
Boy, earlier.
Well, Miss Van Doren, it turns out that the boy your daughter was talking to didn't work the part. She never had a rebellious or immature
He hires Andy Mast to find her.
Fuck around. How were you? Watch my life.
Peter Boyle plays the private detective.
I'm a private detective, Van Doren.
Any pornographic movies, Jake?
He gets a lead.
You know what a hardcore movie is?
Yeah, it's like a stag film, huh?
Yeah.
So he takes him to a theater and shows him a stag film that he found, which features his daughter Kristen.
Turn it off!
He's understandably upset.
A lot of strange things happen in this world. Things you don't know about in Grand Rapids. Things you don't want to know about. Doors that shouldn't be open. Look, I'll find her. But I can't make any promises.
So he starts scoping out where they're filming adult
You've been doing
films.
some porn stuff. You recognize her?
No.
Again, Billy boy, this is jailbait. It could get you in a lot of trouble.
At one point he fires him because
week for 4 months.
finds her
Out here.
screwing around with a girl.
Hey, I ain't cheated you, Pilgrim. This is research, damn it.
So he decides he's going to search on his own through the seedy underbelly of LA. Goes into a private massage place.
Hi.
I'm looking for a girl. Have you ever been in a porno film?
He gets nowhere.
Well, what's the problem?
He's causing trouble.
I got pictures. I want you to help me find someone. I've been asking everyone. No one knows anything.
So he decides to play the part of a adult film producer.
All right, Jake, what can I do for you?
I'm interested in financing an adult feature film.
Small. Start with a kiddie porn. Then work yourself up. When you come around the set, I'll see if somebody wants to take your 50 from you. You can get into business.
I appreciate that, Bill.
I can keep it hard for 2 hours at a time. I'm a woman's dream. I got a dick hung on me 9 inches long.
He places an ad and invites talent to come over.
Good, but
He's specifically looking for this guy who starred in the film with his daughter.
that's not true, Mr.
Jim Slum. Sometimes they call me Jism Jim. But that is one bitch that I will not work with again. That was one freaky bitch, man. I don't know what she was into. I don't know what she was on. I just don't want anything to do with her again, okay?
He doesn't appreciate the stuff he says about his daughter. Of course, Jism Jim doesn't know that that's his daughter.
Girls, she would know. She knows where he lives. Honest.
He wants the name of the producer, the filmmaker. That leads him to a peep show where he talks to Nikki. She allegedly knows where the filmmaker is.
Are you Mickey?
Sure. Like in Mickey and Nicky?
Who are you?
He hires her to help her find
A friend.
his daughter.
Joanne's?
Yeah. I'm her father.
Jesus.
They end up in San
There are a lot of
Diego.
guys who can't talk to their wives or their girlfriends, and they talk to me, and I make them feel better. I'm just like a therapist.
They get a lead.
He's with Rattan.
What does that mean? What does he do?
A guy named Rattan.
He deals in pain.
Is Kristen safe?
I wouldn't expect too much about her coming back.
What makes you so sure?
The wife isn't dead, is she?
Why do you say that?
It's just a guess.
Peter Boyle returns.
Had people raped and killed. One of the men who supposedly arranges such things is called Rattan.
This guy Todd can lead him to Rattan.
I want to meet.
Rattan is into snuff films. So he views the snuff film. He thought the woman in the film might be his daughter, but it's not.
Today, I saw Rattan kill a girl. I'm not gonna let this Todd slip through my hands. Now, where is he?
But then you forget about me.
The search for Rattan leads to some sort of like S&M club or something. Where he
I don't know
confronts
what you're
Todd.
talking about, man.
Police know about Rattan. They know he's here with you. They know everything.
Oh, yeah?
He beats the crap out of Todd and gets the info.
Little man, the door, he goes there.
Rattan!
There's his daughter. Not sure how he has the right to shoot him, but he shoots and kills Rattan.
Doesn't matter what they made you do.
Father and daughter.
They didn't make me do anything. I wanted to leave.
I love you.
Don't touch me, you cocksucker.
You never gave a fuck about me before. You.
But they do make some sort of amends as our film comes to its close. All right, let's talk about this movie, Hardcore. Came out in 1979. This is an early movie for me that I taped off of cable, probably back in, oh God, maybe March or April of 1985. I had it on a BASF tape with Happy Birthday to Me. Squished 2 movies on that tape. I'm sorry, it wasn't EP speed, it was beta 3 speed. You could fit 4.5 movies on a tape, 4.5 hours on a tape. So Happy Birthday to Me, Hardcore, they were longer ones, so there was only 2 on there. So there you go. Excuse me. So the movie stars George C. Scott, Peter Boyle. George C. Scott is a father. His daughter is going off to they live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. His daughter is going off to some church retreat in California, Knott's Berry Farm, that sort of thing. So she goes, and then she ends up missing. And he hires Peter Boyle, a detective, to try to find her. Is she a runaway? Was she kidnapped? Who knows? Peter Boyle does some investigating and finds out that she has done some work in adult films. Apparently she met with the wrong people out in California, and that's where she is. He actually shows her this stag film of her tied up and doing whatever else. And of course, George C. Scott freaks out, turn it off, turn it off. He decides to go out first of all, he hires Peter Boyle to try to find her out in California. And then he decides to go out there himself and does some investigating. At one point, he actually fires Peter Boyle and does most of the legwork on his own. He meets up with the actress Susan Hubley. She plays Nikki. Susan Hubley was actually married to Kurt Russell around this time. They had a baby together. They divorced a few years later. She is a sex worker. She works in like peep shows and that sort of thing. She agrees to help him for money, of course. He's going to pay her like $900 a week to try to find his daughter. And they're all over California, like San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. Actually, just prior to meeting Nikki, he worked under the guise of being a producer of a new adult film so he could meet some of the cast, because he has a photo of his daughter in this film with this blonde guy. And as luck would have it, the blonde guy walks in looking for work at this hotel room he has set up in this makeshift movie producer role that he does. So he sees the guy. His name is Jism Jim. By the way, Jism Jim, I found an article about him years ago on the internet. I couldn't find it today. I looked, but somebody wrote a little piece about Jism Jim because of the great character name he has. His name is Will Walker. He's done a few movies. As I recall, he's in some sort of he's an accountant now or something, or I don't know. But anyway, Jism Jim, great character name. But anyway, Jism Jim is the one who reveals Nikki to him and says Nikki might know the person who is the producer of the film that I did with your daughter. He doesn't say. He actually says some nasty things about her daughter, which he didn't know that was her father. George C. Scott then beat the crap out of him and got that information out of him. But anyway, fast forward. They go to San Diego, then they come up to San Francisco. Peter Boyle tags along. He eventually tracks them down as well. Turns out that the daughter is involved with some people who might be doing snuff films that they got from Mexico. So he gets involved with that. He actually views a film, and he's afraid that that is his daughter in the film, but it's not. 2 people died in that movie, actually. They got knifed, including the girl. And then he finds out that the guy who made this film or produced this film or whatever, somehow obtained this film, is a guy named Rattan. So he tracks down where Rattan is. He's at some strip show club. He bursts in, sees Rattan, and then his daughter is sitting right next to him. So he gets into a brief fight with him. Rattan runs out. Peter Boyle, then, who's right there outside, takes his gun out and shoots Rattan in the street. I don't know. He's a private investigator. I don't know what rule or what permission he had, I guess, to shoot Rattan, but he does, and he doesn't have any repercussions for it as the movie ends. But anyway, George C. Scott follows his daughter into the basement. They have a confrontation down there. She swears at him and said, basically, she says, they didn't make me do anything. I basically ran away from home. I didn't like you. I didn't like living under your rules, that sort of thing. You weren't a great father, blah, blah, blah. Of course, George C. Scott feels terrible, but eventually he calms her down and they get to some sort of understanding, and he brings her upstairs and puts her in a police car. And I guess that's pretty much how the movie ends. I guess she's going to be okay at that point and go back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Or maybe she's going to be in the hardcore industry forever. Who knows? But anyway, that is the movie Hardcore, 1979. The movie is pretty hardcore. This is a rough film to watch. It's just brutal. It's damning. And all of the scenes, or most of the scenes that were filmed in this movie, we see the really seedy underbelly of L.A. and Hollywood and that underground Triple X scene from back then. And it's grimy and dirty. And they filmed these locations in the actual locations. Sex shops, that sort of thing, peep shows, strip shows, that sort of thing. So you really do see the underbelly of LA in this movie, and it's gritty. But I think this is a really good film. It's just well done, and it's kind of a nightmare for George C. Scott. You're just trying to picture yourself in that situation, and it's just awful feeling. But that is hardcore. It's hardcore. So there you go. Double meaning there with that word. So anyway, that is the movie. I got this Blu-ray here from, I think, Twilight Time put this out. This was kind of expensive. I want to say it was around $50 or so to get it now used. There's a few little audio. There's an audio commentary on here with the director, Paul Schrader, who apparently did not get along with George C. Scott on the set in this movie. In fact, George C. Scott got so mad, he said, "I'm not coming out until you promise never to make another film again." He promised. Of course, he didn't follow through. He actually did make more movies. So there you go. That is Hardcore. Again, I'll leave a link to either the DVD or Blu-ray down below. It's a good film. You should definitely check it out. Chock full of nudity. If that's all you're looking for, there's plenty of it in here. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Hardcore. Watch it. Bye.